Hey guys, welcome to today's tutorial. My name is Blessing of Sue with Octavia, and in today's video we're going to be learning how to make this cow kaftan with a velvet neckline. If you notice, the front of this bubu is fitted but free at the back because we incorporated a belt inside the bubu to give it that fittedness. For this tutorial we use 3 yards 10 inches with a length of 62 inches. We start by taking our shoulder measurement of 15, shoulder to bust of 11, shoulder to under bust of 15, shoulder to half length of 18, and to the hip line of 26. The full length of this dress is 62 with hemming allowance of 1 inch, so total makes it 63. Working with a round bust measurement of 36, you add 1 inch allowance, bust measurement of 30, you add 1 inch allowance, half length measurement of 32, we add 1 inch allowance, hip measurement of 40, we add 1 inch allowance. Kindly know that it's not supposed to be a free dress, so you have to incorporate ease into it because you don't need it to be tight. After connecting my lines, I mark it to the length of the dress. Now, to get the cowness, you decide how low you want it to be. For this dress, I came below around my hip area. That's where I started my cowness, 4 inches below my hip area. I marked it there, then I connected it with a circle to the hem of the dress, like that. Because it's an Ankara fabric, this is all I have. If you were working with a fabric that is by 60, you have more room by the side. So this is all I have, because unless you want to join fabric by the side, so to reduce the amount of joinings I have, I just make do with all what I had by the side, connected it and cut it off. I replicate what I've cut off in the front. I replicate it to get my back. Fold your fabric the same way. Place your front on your back, then do the same thing. I mark out my neckline, which is 3.5, and the front back depth. I mark my back first, back depth of 2 inches, width of 3.5. Connect it with a French curve, and I mark. Please note that I only cut out the back because the shape of the neckline for the front is totally different from that of the back. So I also indicate 3.5 for my front, which is half of my neckline. 3.5. I notched it. So that's the notch indicates the center of my fabric. I notched it, open it up, then I manually traced out the shape I wanted on the front. So at this point, I used the velvet to cut out the facing of the neckline for the front piece. So I marked out the shape I wanted, cut it out, then I'll sew it down. But before I sew it, I'm going to put an interfacing behind the velvet fabric to give it stability while sewing, so it doesn't move around so much and avoid wrinkles on the velvet fabric. So this is me sewing down the velvet on the front piece first. You sew the neckline, flip it over and give it a good press. So when we are done, this is what it looks like, all neat and tidy. Then you place the back piece on the front piece, sew down the shoulder to shoulder. If you see, I've already turned the neckline of the back with bias before I placed it on the front piece, so I can now sew it down. Joining this one, the front and back piece, this is what we have. Now I'm going to incorporate the belt in front. I will have to, the belt will be sewn on the half length, how tight you want it to be. So I mark my shoulder to my half length, which is 18, and I sew the belt inside on the wrong side of the fabric. So I have to flip this dress inside so that I can sew down the belt. This is what I mean when I mean sewing down the belt. The belt is now sewn to my half length. This is how it is. So when you wear it, you tie the belt. And to finish up the edges of the velvet, I used 1.5 yard of this lovely um, trimmings to cover up the tip of the velvet. So sew it down and we're done. It's beginner friendly. If you're new to this space, kindly click the subscribe button, like, share, and comment on our content. And if there's any video tutorial you want, kindly indicate in the comment section and we'll work towards it. And I'll see you in my next video. Ciao.